I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but this is the introduction to the Stimmy Stang. It's a 95?
98.
98. No headlights, lightweight. Completely gutted. This is owned by my friend Bailey. What time of the year did we go to get this? March of this year, so it'd be 2021. All gutted. 400 trans that me and him essentially bought from an RV that was rebuilt. We really didn't do much other than make it manual. We'll pop the hood here in a second, but you know how to tell times?
Sure.
What was your best time in the car? I mean, essentially, you know, we don't. It's not really like what this car will do, because the car's still got 28 spline axles in it, stock carrier, a welded diff. I gave him a spare set of slicks I had, and I gave him some hillbilly like unilug slotted rims for the back of the car to put slicks on the car. He's popping the hood right now, but I donated a few parts to the build and tried to help him get it together so that he could enjoy it for the year. And I guess, what's your best time with all that in context?
The best time was on the draggy. That was a 670.
Yeah, 670 with probably like a 1.6 or 760 foot, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a 1.6 something.
This car is also a foot brake car, so it's just a 5.3. Let's lift the hood up, I guess. You want to tell us about the setup?
It's a junkyard 5.3 that Zeph gave to me.
I think this was something 5.3 from like a 01 or 02. It had the steel multi-layer head gaskets on it, so it wasn't like a really early one, but it did have a pile of miles. I think I gave like $120 for it, or $125 for it.
For the cam and springs in it.
Yep. 8708 Summit cam, and then it's got a Edelbrock intake.
Yep. Super Victor.
Some used carb that we went to some flea market guy in Detroit to get for, I can't remember how much it was. It was just a Holly 750. Yeah, $100. We drove down to the wrong house, knocked on the door. And then I think these are Speed Engineering headers for this that he picked up used. Keeping all into the theme of Stimmy Stang, you probably got what, $5-6 grand in this car. The original Stimmy Stang thing, I kind of like recommended calling it that because he used his stimulus package money to go get this car. And radiator I had sitting around. I bored a hole in it when I had my Valiant to move the bottom neck, and I bored a hole in it, and I wasn't really very good at aluminum welding at that time, so I just said, screw it, I'll buy another one. So I welded that hole shut and gave it to him, and we fitted it on here. Same thing with the trans lines. I was going to some stainless lines, and I said, here, you can have these, because he was going to try to like copper line it. Some of the stuff that Bailey wanted to do, I kind of cringed and been like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't do that. But it's been good. I'll put a couple. I don't really have many videos of it. I do have the one of it pulling the wheels up, which was probably the best part of this car. Is he's been wanting to do a wheelie, and I kind of told him that a 400 with like a foot brake setup probably won't do a wheelie, especially on just a 5.3. And this car I guess we haven't really talked about it. It does have nitrous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got a plate kit. It'll do 300, and I think that day you were spraying at 300, right?
Yeah.
And I donated a progressive controller so that he could actually control it for when he's using it on no prep. So I think on the day you raced Sherm, it was like 100 horsepower off the hit when it engaged at like 4,000 RPM, and then it ramped to 300 in a second. And obviously this car doesn't have a cage, so it's not very rigid. And before that, I guess I should say that on like G bodies and stuff, they put the footballs in the springs. It actually popped the football that's in this spring, so it was like that. And I think that's about it. I mean, there's a lot of just cheap parts. What did this thing weigh? I can't remember.
Weighed 2,700 with me out of it.
Yep.
With 150.
Yeah, and he's got lead in the bumper of the thing. So it's like 2,600 by itself. And it's all, you know, original body parts except for the hood. And right here, the glass cracked from the wheelie that he did. So just all pretty much just junk or reused parts, and it did 670. And that wasn't even on the pass that he raced Sherm. That was on the pass.
That wasn't.
It was in testing, right?
Yeah. That wasn't even from the same event.
Yeah, it was from testing the event before from Testing Tune. So yeah, if he had he was way out of the groove by the time this thing was done wheeling and stuff, but I think that would have probably been like a 650 pass or even better. But I don't think he got draggy of that.
No.
It's it's just been something cheap, and a lot of the parts that I had on my car originally are just like stuff that I had laying around. Like a lot of the stuff, the rims I bought, they just were sitting in my Regal, which I don't think I'd ever use them, but we just threw them on the one day before the event, and this tire is definitely losing air. The rear end's pretty tore up. That's one thing we're gonna have to address this winter, and probably gonna put 35 splines or at least upgrade the axles in it, and we definitely gotta put a sway bar on it. But it's been fun. It's just a budget setup. I think we're talking about next year we're gonna probably swap some stuff around. I don't really want to talk about it too much because it's his setup, and if he wants to keep it a secret, then that's what we'll do. So, any last words? Goals for next year?
Go faster.
Go faster.
Cage.
This car beat me. I'm just gonna put it out there. Was it the second or first event I took?
I think it was the
first event we took the car to.
On 100
And
shot.
to put that in perspective, I think we were both running like barely in the 6s to 7s at that time. So it was when I didn't have a boost controller on my car, and I gave him the hit, and I regret it. He didn't give me too hard of a time, but yeah. And back then, I don't even think you were spraying, right?
100 shot.
Was it 100 shot? he's been having kind of some issues with the fuel pressure. As you can see, the nice eBay regulator here, and there's a nice eBay pump in the back. We're probably gonna have to change up. It was dropping fuel pressure, and then the fuel pressure become inconsistent, to where you would cycle just the nitrous plate on 300 shot and it would drop from like 9 to like 6 without the engine running. So got stuff to do to this car, got stuff to do to my car, and we might have some videos of this being caged this winter if it's in my garage. I assume we're going to do it down there if we do chromoly, just because I've got a TIG welder there and space for him to keep his car there. But I just know I've shown it in a couple videos, and wanted to actually like show the car. And he's got a Nova too that it's going to be a long-term project, so I won't really say much about that right now. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.
Side in the affordable doors lane out of Horton Lake. Bailey McClellan, the 95 Mustang, a no-time vehicle.